All right, happy Monday morning. It is 5:27. Been up for about an hour just doing my morning routine, which admittedly is a lot slower because I haven't been in the groove recently. So I had to get back into things. And now what I'm going to be doing is I am actually just going to be walking through all of my self-alchemy and doing my morning routine. However, Mondays are hectic for me. I have back-to-back calls pretty much throughout the entire day, and I literally just had a client ask me right now if he wants to meet as I am recording this, and I don't know if the answer is yes. I am still kind of trying to just reclaim this little bit of peace that I get in the morning, because you can see I have 5 or 6 back-to-back calls all starting at 10 a.m. So this time is really important for me to knock some of my work out. So gonna see what I can do, but ultimately, yeah, it's gonna be a really good day. We've done recordings. I think we'll go Daniel Dalen style. So the way that I imagine this is there's this kind of trend going on right now where people do, I'm calling them like luxury podcasts, where I think GQ started doing it with house tours, where they'll do a house tour but also interview the owner of the house as they go through, doing the equivalent of that. Yeah, so similar to that, and then what you do is you have a really big roll-up scene, so it would be all the clips that you use for an edited car intro. And then what you do from that point forward is you flash into pretty much taking, so what I would do is I'd comb through the footage, edit cinematic intro, then you find every transition moment. So that lady getting in the car is what's called a relief moment. So you use the tension clip, which is the talking bit, and then you frame it as like a question on the screen. So it would be, what is Claude going to do to the workspace? And you don't actually have to ask the question. I'm just going to frame it, and then you guys have your conversation, go through, answer, and then you let that roll on for 1 to 2 minutes. Then you play a relief clip, and then you go back into it and you just repeat that process. So then it comes out as a video where you can have multiple topics. Then the packaging becomes something along the lines of 2 millionaires discuss how Claude is going to, and then it's some crazy thing like take over the world as the packaging. Okay, so you guys actually missed the best part of that call, but in the middle of my morning routine, jumps on, and we had this conversation of this particular client of mine. He's in the AI space, and he's pretty big in the AI space, and he's gonna be a lot bigger from the work that we're doing, but he is in a situation where he's looking to pretty much massively level up his content, and I'm pretty much brought on as a trial at this point. However, he pretty much just sat down with me and was like, yo, I want you to kind of own this, and if you can own it, here's what it would kind of look like. And what it would look like is pretty cool. It includes a lot of traveling and making really cool videos, which I think is awesome. So yeah, just another incentive in my head to just go all in, because with the way that I run the agency, I'm trying to focus on getting not a lot of clients, but honestly like 5 people that pay big retainers, and I just focus on making really world-class level stuff for them, because ultimately that's what I enjoy, and it's also what I want out of my agency this year, to position myself for some point in the future when it's time to properly do the done with you stuff. But yeah, just an update. Now I actually got to start the day. It's 6:40 a.m. and yeah, we're kind of running behind now, but you know what? I don't mind it for this reason. So little workday update. It is 8:11 now, and I have finished yesterday's video. I'm actively working on a client video. Clips are just transcribing, so I got a second to chat with you guys, which is why I want to cover today's topic, which is going to be waking up early. And the only reason why I've thought to talk about this today is purely because I have not been waking up early for the last, honestly, 2 weeks or so. It's been me getting up at any time between 9 to 12 p.m., especially when I first got back from my travels. And this was the first day that, as yesterday you guys saw, I stayed up, which, wholly overexposed, primed me to get up early this morning. And it's such a powerful thing because you allow yourself to get time away from the world. It's the same thing that staying up all night does, except it's the only way of doing it that is sustainable on a daily basis while integrating with the rest of society. If you stay up all night every night and you wake up at 2 p.m. every single day, which I've also done before, you start to ostracize yourself from the rest of the world. And that can work in periods, and when you're in fields that, like, for example, if you're a painter, that could be awesome. However, for me, on a day like today, I have meetings from, first meeting happened impromptu at 6 a.m., then I have a meeting with my editor, also impromptu, that's going to be at 9 a.m. And then I have scheduled meetings from 10 a.m. all the way until 2 p.m. Maybe even at 2 p.m. until around 2:33-ish. So on a day like today, unless I wake up at the time that I wake up at, I get no freedom to kind of express my schedule. And if I did try and express my freedom, I would be missing commitments, which is not good. So that's the power of waking up early. It allows you to have that time to yourself on a sustainable basis. And if you're a extreme person, similar to myself, you might be wondering like, oh, I should wake up at any time between 5 or 6 a.m. And I'll tell you the reason that personally I don't do that is because I know unless I make it something that is extreme, I'm not going to do it. So if I said to myself, let me try and inch my way to wake up at 7 a.m. every single day and like reduce it far back, it doesn't work for me. I would rather just go extreme and take the plunge of going to bed at 7 p.m. and waking up super early, and then doing that for as many days as I can until usually I have to crash and burn because I'm in so much sleep debt that I need a 12-hour sleep day, usually on the weekends, and I go back to doing the same thing. I think it's better to operate in cycles of being being extreme, rather than to try and inch your way into this perfect and consistent life. And as long as you can just kind of learn to love and accept the roller coaster, I also believe you'll get a lot more done that way. So yeah, that is why I wake up at the time that I do. And it can be 4 a.m. or it can be, as the exposure gets fixed here, it can also be 12 p.m. It's just two polar opposites that you want to bounce between, like all things in life. Okay, so I just got back from my run, and yeah, pretty solid. My internet actually went out after my client meetings, so lucky I got those done. I didn't actually record any of them. I just figured they're really boring, so it's whatever. But yeah, it is 5 p.m. I woke up at things, so I've been awake for 12 hours and 30 minutes now, and I'm getting pretty tired, but I have quite a bit of client work to do, and I also have to get my business channel video out, so I'm just gonna shower and then have to figure out what the heck I'm gonna do in order to get all this done. But yeah, it's not looking like, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so we had a little client payment come through, nothing crazy, but cool thing for the day. I have a little bit more client work to get done, so I'm just chatting with my friends while I go through and finish the editing there. and it's great, you can see the reflection. And then after that, I am going to go to bed, but I got a fuckload of client work to do. I did not get to progress on the Tate video, so tomorrow, now that I don't have meetings, I'm gonna have to lock in super hard, but you know, I'm not overwhelmed, but I'm definitely gonna need to be locked in, which is, yeah, it's gonna be a lot. All right, so it is 8:54 right now, and I'm just going over my list for tomorrow, which is pretty crazy amount of work, to be honest. It's very rare I have a task list this long, but look at that. And the thing about this is that none of this work is even my video, which, if you know anything about my stuff, I have to get 2 videos live this week. I have to get my main channel video live and my business channel video live. So yeah, it's a lot, to be honest. However, I just stayed up for about another 2 hours, honestly, when it's all said and done, to get a client draft sent over. And it kind of sucks because it means I'm going to get less sleep going into tomorrow, but I guess it's kind of necessary in that respect. So that's that. And yeah, I'm just going to read my Self-Alchemy and then go to bed. One thing I've been doing, I've been reading this actually out loud, like saying the affirmations when I get to that part, which has been pretty cool. But beyond that, I mean, it's I'm just grateful, you know. I have a trust at this point that all of this is for a reason, and that there's going to be development on the end of this that allows me to become better, and I just need to push through and do my best that I can. That's all I can do. So I'm gonna go through tomorrow. I feel the pressure, but I don't feel stressed about it, and I'm going to execute to the best of my ability. So that is all. And if I didn't wake up early today, oh boy, it would have been bad. And yeah, I'll let you guys know tomorrow.